You are now tuned into All Bets In with MyGuyz. MyGuyz Sports.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all tuning in. Welcome to All Bets In, Season 2, Episode 10, NFL Week 11 with MyGuyz Sports. You already know I'm B Spurl, Spur Online, and with me is Moneyline Rich Will. What's happening, Rich?
Hey, what's going on, Spurl? Another week, another day, another dollar.
Man, another episode, man. This season been flying through, man. Week 11 already past the halfway point, man. So
going faster than Aaron Rodgers' recovery.
Man, no, for real. Do you think he ends up playing?
I think he's gonna come back, bro. Something's going on.
Something's up. Did
He too confident for me. Unless there's a setback, it all depends. I'm gonna tell you this: if they win this week, which is probably highly unlikely, but if they happen to beat Buffalo again, I say he comes back because they got to be in the striking zone. Because if he's talking about coming back mid-December, so they got to at least win 4 out of their next 5 games. And with Zach Wilson, I just don't see that happening. And I'm just going with Todd Boyle as a backup if I got to. I mean, it's something got to happen, but I don't see him coming back if they're 6-6 and they're in 10th place in the AFC. I just don't see it happening.
Man, yeah, that'd be pretty crazy if he came back now for Achilles in the same season.
Man, I mean, he talked about it. I was listening to him on McAfee's podcast, and he just was saying a lot of things that you hear people saying about healing. Like he was like, I reached out to world-class athletes and people who have been a part of this. I reached out to dietitians, spiritual advisors, different things about what to intake in his body to heal it. What can I do at home? Like, I'm saying dude's a smart dude. I'm not saying this is impossible. I mean, that's a big injury, to overcome. He's not going to be doing a lot of running. He'd probably be more of a Tom Brady statue in the pocket. But I mean, he said that he said all the right things that you would think that you would, if you wanted to come back from something, that's what you would do. Unless it's just really torn.
You said unless it wasn't really torn?
Not fully torn, at least. I mean, that's the only thing I can think about, honestly, man. Because Cam Akers did it in 5 months, but he's also African American, also 23 years old. Genetics a little bit different than Aaron Rodgers being almost 40.
Yeah, 40 years old, Achilles. Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy to see.
Yeah, it would, for sure.
Man. But yeah, no, NFL Week 11, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. It's got 6 games we're gonna run through this session. You can always catch us, shoot the tags to you, man. You can always message us via email, team@myguyzsports.com. And the IG is MyGuyz_sports. The Twitter is at MyGuyzsports. You can find me Spur Online. That's IG and Twitter. And then Rich is on Twitter, Moneyline Rich W, and the IG Moneyline Rich Will. Man, what a Week 10, man. It was some pretty good performances. Couple of good games, man. Couple things that stood out. Texas getting a big win on the road in Cincy. I didn't think that was going to happen. Ravens blowing another lead.
Oof.
Raiders getting another W, and then the Broncos getting a big win Monday Night Football in Buffalo after they've been performing well after the bye. But what stood out to you this past week?
Man, two tells of the tape. Either it's the Buffalo Bills are either imploding and they're not going to achieve. I mean, you said they was going to take a dump this year in episode 0. It's either they really bad or the Broncos are really starting to settle into the offense and the culture and the identity of Sean Payton, and Russell Wilson's finally getting control of that offense and they're trying to move in the right direction. I think that game said a lot about both teams. And then Trevon Diggs talking about, they both divas. I call it what it is. we knew before the season, we talked about episode 0 where there's smoke, there's fire. Losing shows a lot of issues, winning mask all issues. And right now they losing. Stephon Diggs, of course, not happy. He's not touching the ball enough. I think Josh Allen is forcing the ball to him a lot. When you got that diva type receiver, like I'm not saying that it's his fault that he ain't out there throwing interceptions, Stephon Diggs, but it makes it a little bit challenging when you have a diva receiver. I think it messes up your overall field play of playing quarterback. And I noticed that Josh Allen, when Stephon Diggs got an attitude on the sideline, he forced him the ball and maybe over looking his leads and things like that. So it was just tough to watch the Bills implode because they have a lot of talent. They're really talented on both sides of the ball, and just to see them debacle was a big thing for me to watch. And then watching Russ get his feet back, I'm happy for him to stay. We were talking about it was his career a fluke almost at this point. So I think it was good to see that him do a little switch around and starting to get comfortable in that offense and start winning some games.
Yeah, no, there's definitely something going on with that Buffalo offense. I don't know what it is. I think a couple of weeks ago we were talking about a game, maybe like 3 weeks ago, and I was just like, man, I can't really buy them right now because I don't know what's going on with the offense. Um, and that could be a big part of it, what you pointed out, just trying to satisfy a receiver and just, his reads are all over the place and, he's not really sure where he wants to go with the football. But right now it's ugly, man. You fire an offensive coordinator in the middle of the season.
And
Um,
and last year fired the DC within 10 months.
well, I think Leslie Frazier I think he just left.
Well, I think according to the news, they said they ended up firing him. So replacing, or even if they didn't, he walked away. You losing 2 coordinators in 10 months says a lot.
Yeah, no, that's a challenge.
So
Losing.
who's next? McDermott?
Yeah, I mean, when you spend a lot of money on a team and they don't come through, they typically a franchise to find. It's easier to find another coach than it is to replace a whole roster. So,
It is 100%.
unfortunately, I don't think that's an indictment on McDermott. I think he's a good coach, but something's got to give right now because right now they are free falling.
Yeah, I
Um,
give him one more year, but I'm trading Diggs in offseason.
that's a big possibility as well.
Yeah, I'll get some return capital for him and let Josh Allen play without having a draft another wide receiver and let Josh Allen go out there and play free for all and throw it to who he want to throw it to.
That's a good point. That could be an option for them for sure.
So I like McDermott. I'm with you.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they finish out the remainder of the season. I mean, that division is still up for grabs.
Wide open.
So even though they lost a couple of games, I mean, for them it's just pretty much Miami. Well, they get
That's it.
Miami and they get Buffalo. I mean, not Buffalo. New England again. New England is below them in the standings, but
Yeah.
they got the tiebreaker so far over Miami. Then I think they played them the last game of the season.
Okay.
Yeah, so um, yeah, that's gonna be an interesting race for them too. Miami's getting, you know, I wouldn't say getting better, but they're playing better football right now at this point.
Yeah, I agree. CJ Stroud, MVP conversation. Great to see. D'Amico Ryan, shout out to him being a coach. Really good coach, it seems like. And, they playing for him. Big winning in Houston, which is important. A big city, got the fans all out. They're rooting for him. People are believing in winning again, or I would say winning again, but they appreciate the culture he's bringing in. So it's good to watch on that accord too.
Yeah, that was a huge win against Cincy. I didn't doubt that they could make the game close, keep the game close, but um, I didn't think they would go in there and get a win. So that was a huge win for that team.
Big
And
time.
yeah, CJ Stroud, man. You got to talk about him as being playing some of the best football in the league this year. So, man, rookie doing it. So it'd be cool to see how they continue to build a team around him and build the team in general. But they got their guy. That's without a doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. But And then Deshaun Watson out for the season, man. That's that's tough to see. Something going on. Some stuff has been developing over there in Cleveland, in regards to Deshaun Watson and the Browns for a while. So it'd be
Definitely
interesting to
political.
see how this happens in the offseason going into next year. He got a lot of money guaranteed.
2 more years left, right?
Huh?
2 more years left, right?
You said two?
Yeah, 2 more years or 3 more years on his contract.
Oh no, I think he just signed a new contract for like 5 years.
Oh, it's 5 years. Okay, fully guaranteed. I mean, he's a good quarterback. I don't care. It's sometimes he's still young. It might take him a while to get his footing back in, but I'm with you. You've been on this since the beginning of the season. You've been clear. You've been concise. This offense doesn't fit him. He can't play out of the shotgun. Not saying that the Browns coach is not a good coach, but this is not a system for him. It's just not. He needs to be somewhere where he can go out there and sling the ball 40 times and be in control of the offense, motion, deep passes, all that. But playing, I mean, he doesn't even throw the ball down the field. So, and you've been on this from the jump. So I think it's a change of scenery for him. I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota isn't in play for him. Dallas quarterbacks and things like that, that teams might be willing to trade for him and give him that money. New York Giants, if they can dump Daniel Jones' contract somewhere else, I could see him definitely not being in New York. I mean, being in Cleveland next year. Unless
You think Dallas trade for him?
I put him in a conversation. You know, if they feel like they can't win with Dak,
Yeah.
not saying they would, but I'm saying it'd be something worth looking at. Because I mean, they don't look like they don't. I don't know. Dak's a weird situation. I mean, I actually like Dak as a quarterback. I mean, but I don't think this is on Dak. I just don't think Mike McCarthy know how to win games.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's an issue with both of them. I don't think that I'm not.
Sold on Dak.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion about Dak, I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a good leader, good face of your franchise, good for your locker room, your team. His teammates believe in him. You know, he's the type of guy you want to stand on the podium after the game for you. But
Take
you
the
know,
heat.
yeah, but he was a fourth round draft pick, and he was born a trust fund baby as far as the NFL. Like he was born into weapons. He was born in the offensive line. He was just born into a good situation. So it's hard to build a win with a team with a quarterback that he needs everything around him
To
to
succeed.
be to succeed. Like you got to have areas where you can save money, where you can, rely upon draft picks, to build your team. Like he needs he needs everything. He needs weapons, he needs a good defense, he needs, you know, good run game, offensive line, and you still got to pay him all that money. So I don't think you can win that way, in my opinion.
I
Um,
agree.
but at the same time, it's like, what do you do if you're the Cowboys? Like, is there a better
Solution.
is there a better solution? I think they just probably gonna ride the wheels until they don't ride no more. So I could see them just kind of sticking with Dak for the next, 5 to 7 years.
Oof. That's tough. That's a fair assessment for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're not a bad enough team to get a good draft pick to draft a meaningful quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. I would say last shot for me is the Steelers and like sneaky good 6-2. I don't know what they. I
Is it
don't know.
real?
I mean, they keep winning, so it's like they top of their division. The playoffs start today. They second seed in the NFC, in the AFC. That's wild. I mean, to not play your best football and still be 6-2. And they ain't saying they been beat up on garbage teams. Like it's been a mixture. Some garbage, some good. They just win. More, I would say more responsibility for Mike Tomlin. Everybody been questioning how good a coach he is or isn't. He always get talked about every year. This is, I would have to say, his best coaching job since he's been here with a quarterback who I would bench every week if I had to, because he's not consistent enough for me. And they got weapons. You got Allen Robinson. You got was it Pickett? You know what I'm saying? You got weapons out there to make some things shake, and they just can't put it together offensively. And I think, like I said, Tomlin came out this week and said we're gonna need more from Pickett in order to continue to maintain success.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not buying it from them. I think they winning on smoke and mirrors right now. So we'll see. I don't think you can be negative in stats in
Oh yeah,
almost every game you play and win and it be real. Like, we seen the Steelers have a year where they won a bunch of games to start, and end up not being just folding at the end. I think that was a year like the Browns blew them out in the playoffs by like 30 or something.
you're right.
So, they winning some games. You find a way to win. That's all you can do at the end of the day. How real it is, yeah, I don't know. I think that remains to be seen. But they in the race, so my opinion don't matter about that. They there.
Hey, fair enough.
Yeah, they find a way to win. But yeah, we'll see about the Steelers. But yeah, that division in general is I
Tough.
guess with Deshaun Watson out, it's not as much of a dog fight as it was before, but it's still difficult.
Yeah, Ravens to lose without Deshaun Watson in the division.
Man. And them, yeah, that's the only thing that hurts them is they really could be undefeated, but they just blow leads.
They
They
just
just
they
blow leads.
they dump people when they start giving up or lose interest or whatever it is. But
That's 3 games.
yeah, they gotta finish if you want to win this league from start to bottom. I mean, start to finish. You gotta win all the way through.
Got to win. Got to win. But yeah, no, that's a great segue into the Week 10 recap. Because we got to win. Got to win. So Week 10 recap. We went two and two? Was it 2-2? 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2 on the Week 10, man. So 50%, not where you want to be, but we only had one losing week so far. So, even on the weeks where we down, we try to at least break even for you. But yeah, 2-2. Myself, Spurl Online, I went 1-1. I had Green Bay. Aaron Jones over 52.5 rushing yards. He did not get there. I picked the wrong Green Bay running back, I think. A.J. Dillon had a better game that week. So weird, yeah. But, it's how it crumbles sometimes. So that one lost. And then I had Seahawks team total over 25.5. That one got through, so a W there. So 1-1. Excuse me. And no underdog of the week for me last week. And then Rich had New Orleans, Shaheed over 34.5 receiving yards. That one didn't quite get there. And then the Jets, Tyler Conklin over 2.5 receptions. You did some pretty crazy research on that one. Got the W. Share with the audience a little bit just about how you came across that Tyler Conklin play.
Yeah, no, I was talking to Spurl and kind of let him know that I do evaluation, like I'm getting fixated on a certain kind of game, and I did the same thing with Darren Waller that week that we didn't bet with the tight end play. So I just pretty much searched Raiders versus tight ends, and it popped up on, I can't think of the site, a couple sites actually, but it pulled up the fantasy league stats where it showcases how many catches, how many points a team gives up, against tight ends or wide receivers, like whatever the case may be. But for tight ends, this week I knew they were playing the Jets, so it said over the last 6 weeks that they was giving up 7 or 8 catches to tight ends. I was like, shit, Conklin about to eat, because they don't really throw to nobody else. Zach Wilson ain't throwing the ball down the field. So his safety net, was that. I think he had 3 catches, 2 catches in the first quarter.
Yeah, he could at least. I know he cashed in the first half.
And then Sproul had showed me that the number had went significantly down it was weird. It was down one place, but then on FanDuel, I'm starting to notice that they be giving you two different numbers. If you smart, you can mess with them. So if you look at it, because even when I looked at it, when you had text me, you had let me know, hey, the number is different. When
Yeah.
I went to his +4 catches, it was like plus 105 or something like that. But then I was like, oh, all these numbers are weird. Like, don't make no sense. But of course, we took the cheaper number. But yeah, so I would say if you guys looking to fixate yourself on a matchup, I did the same thing with Darren Waller, where I think they were playing the Redskins. The Redskins had gave, I mean, the Redskins Commanders, they had gave up like, I think they were like bottom fourth on giving a tight end reception and yards in the league at that time, and Waller hadn't broke out, so he was primed for a breakout. I think he ended up having 5 catches, 100 yards, and a tud. So just good research is to kind of put that in your repertoire to look at matchups, to look at the averages or cornerbacks. So me and Spur used to do a PFF. If you want to get into advanced metrics and things like that too, but you can eyeball that for free and get your picks as well.
Yeah, for sure. No, that was a great pick, man. Got off the plane and saw, dang, he got 3 catches already first half. So no, he was all over that one. So and then you had I think you had Green Bay +3.5 as your underdog. 4 point loss. So right there, I can't remember how it ended up 4 points. So it was kind of weird, but
Oh,
uh
I don't remember. I think they have field
miss
goal
extra pointer. Did somebody miss extra point
or
or something?
something like that. Let me see what it
Yeah,
was.
that one was close. Green Bay was right there, had a chance at the end too, and just couldn't pull it out.
Yeah, it was a weird number. It just so I think they missed an extra point or something like that. But Green Bay should have won. That game was there to for the taking.
Yeah, no, it was. But yeah, no, they end up losing the game. No cover there. Um, so the records for this week, MyGuyz Sports NFL show records: Beastboro 17-9, 17-9-1, win percentage of 62%. Rich 11-9, and no pushes, win percentage of 55%. And then MyGuyz as a team, 28 wins, 18 losses, 1 push, win percentage of 59%. So teetering right there, man. Get back above that 6-0.
Need a good winning streak.
Yeah, it only takes one of those and you right back where you want to be. So we lock in here and pull some winners out this week, man. Cool. But yeah, no, and just a reminder to everybody, man, you gotta stay with your gut instincts, man. You got to, man, because usually you're right. Even if you're wrong, you take the time you're wrong, but when you don't follow through, that's when you miss out on the ones that you saw initially. So, and I'm saying this because I'm saying it to myself too, because I do it all the time. But man, stay with you, write down what you like initially in the beginning of the week and try to stay on it, man. Try to stay on it because I missed out. But yeah, that was a little sports betting just toss out there, man. Stay
One
with
on
your gut.
one, yeah, one-on-one betting advice for us right here. Two things: do some extended research,
Yeah,
trust your gut. I mean, at the end of the day, man, win, lose, or draw, like there's nothing guaranteed. So even if you bet with your gut and you don't feel it no more, or you talk yourself out of it, just go back to that feeling that you had and just bet it. Shit. Worst case scenario, you just lose.
man. Cannot be afraid to lose. Pull the
Yeah,
trigger, man.
go fight another day.
Man, that's real. That's a real spill right there. But yeah, man. Um, I'm ready to go ahead and get into
Good.
NFL Week 11, man. Like I mentioned, we got 6 games. We break these down and then get up out of here, man. And then hopefully we find some cash in here in these. But yeah, man, let's go ahead. We don't usually have these too many. You're probably not gonna get to hear this by the time it airs, but at least it's on wax and you heard what we thought about this game. First game up, we got the Thursday night matchup, Bengals versus the Ravens. Baltimore favored 3.5, total of 44.5. Look ahead on this one was Baltimore favorite 3, total of 44. So a little buy money on the Ravens, little buy money on the total, the over on this one. Bengals coming off that 30-27 win. I'm sorry, 30-27 loss at home against Houston. And the Ravens coming off that 33-30 loss at home versus Cleveland. So we get the AFC North matchup right here. This is it's a big game right here for the division lead, I believe. Man, what you thinking in this matchup right here?
I so I lost a bet on this early this year with Joe Burrow and his passing completions. He got the torching, he got the torching the Ravens a little too late. Um, I got a stat line for me is I think the team total over for the Bengals. Kind of hard to bet this game because injuries, you don't know who's going to pop up, who is not. I think that's a tough for me to bet fully. But the angle I had on this game was team total Bengals because even if the Ravens jumped them, like you said, they seemed to go soft in the second half or third quarter. I mean, they had a 98 win percentage going into the fourth quarter against the Browns, and they
Yeah.
just pretty much just gave up anything. And I can't see the Bengals being in a position where they're trying to lose or not. And nobody wants to lose, but you don't want to lose back-to-back games like that in that fashion with a team. I mean, they almost came out and beat the Ravens. So, with that being said, I'm more so trusted to bet that they'll come through and do their thing, and at least get their team total over. And then I would say
You
I'm
know what
going
the number you know what the number is? What the
45 team total for the Ravens. I know the game total is 45 and a half.
Yeah.
Let's see right now. Let's get a quick little look at it because it wasn't out when I looked at it earlier. It is going to be.
21 and 21 and a half.
I would think so. Let me see. I got it pulled up right now. So total, where's it at? Points. Yeah, what is their points? I still don't see it up here. It's at 46 now. I ain't seen it yet. I ain't not putting this
Yeah.
shit.
Well, you keep looking.
Yeah,
I'll
okay,
go
here, I got
ahead.
total points. We got, damn, only 21 and a half.
21 and a half. Okay.
I can't see them scoring 3 touchdowns. I know the Raven defense is good, don't get me wrong, but it's the garbage time for me. So team total, and I like Joey B to go over passing yards. I think his passing yards right now are um what is it? Passing yards is 252. I think he goes over that.
I can see that.
Yeah, minus 114, 252 and a half. I think he'll for sure go over it.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Uh I actually kind of lean towards the Bengals in this game too. Just because of the matchup, man. The Ravens, they did suffer some injuries in the secondary, so I think Marlon Humphrey got injured.
Questionable.
Um, question. So I thought he was a serious injury. They were saying he might have tore his Achilles.
Yeah, I'm looking at the injury report right now. It just came out today, said Marlon Humphrey questionable. I mean, yeah, I thought it was major. Ron Staley,
Oh,
Humphrey,
okay.
Trenton Simpson, and then Keaton Mitchell are all questionable, it says.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good news for them, man, that he didn't suffer a serious injury. They was
Yeah.
saying it might have been Achilles, so that's good then. But yeah, yeah, they a little banged up right now, and I just the matchup. I mean, the Ravens play a lot of man-to-man defense, and this is probably a team that is going to be tough to play man-to-man defense against with their weapons around Joe Burrow. And they typically had their way against this Ravens team, at least the past like year, last year and the year before. I lean towards Cincinnati plus the 3.5. What is the health for Cincy in this short week, and how does their defense respond? They got kind of torched last week against Houston.
No, I agree with you. They're very sloppy, very, very uncharacteristic. I mean, but is it the defense or is CJ Stroud just was tearing them apart like he's doing? He's pretty much done everybody all season.
Could
Combination
could be the
of both.
latter. Yeah, could be the latter. Um, I'm not sure. I guess I bet Houston a couple of times. I think twice against actually no, once. That was against the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. I haven't watched a lot of the games, honestly, so it's hard for me to have a true gauge on and I would say this season I haven't been doing that as much, actually watching. um I think it's because the setup is different for YouTube TV than it was the NFL Sunday ticket package where you could just watch the little short 20 to 30 minute
Clips,
uh
yeah,
yeah clip.
specifically. You got to watch the whole damn game and fast forward throughout. So
Yeah, it makes it challenging. I mean, they got a little thing where you can watch like it's stacked up to where it's like 30 something highlights, but it's like, man, it's not the same as the other one. So and it's hard to watch a bunch of full games. So but I just haven't watched Houston enough to have um a good feel for their team. So that's remains to be seen for me, but it seems like they've had success against a lot of teams this year. Um, but yeah, short week, I'm looking at how do both of these defenses respond. And one guy I'm looking at as far as player prop market is Tyler Boyd over receiving yards. I think he's had some good games against this Baltimore defense, and I think this is a game where they need a little bit of veteran toughness, and I think he's a good guy to kind of inject that into this team going on the road. And then you know, when they when this Ravens defense is playing a lot of man to man, I like to look at where is the quarterback going to um get quick relief options, and Tyler Boyd plays in that slot area, so I think he'll be able to navigate through the field and probably get some yak, especially um with them playing a lot of man to man. He might coming across going across field, have cornerbacks chasing him and be able to make some plays. So I'm looking at his receiving yards over. Of course, it's not up yet, but Lane Cincy plus the 3.5, and looking at Tyler Boyd over receiving yards in this one.
yeah.
Cool. You got anything on this game? Anything else on that one? All right. Next game we got here, we got the Cardinals versus the Texans. Houston favorite 5, total 48.5. Look ahead, Houston 4.5. Total of 46.5. So it looks like some buy on this over and a little Houston money after their win on the road there. They are coming off I did not change this one. Cardinals coming off a win at home against the Falcons, and the Texans coming off a win on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, Man, this is a out of conference matchup as well. What are you thinking about this one, man? It's hard to these teams. The Cardinals team, I would say right now. How are you looking at them with Kyler Murray in this lineup now?
It's kind of weird. It's kind of strange for me, man. I think it's do you want to win or want to tank, or what's the whole outcome for how you want to play, like how you going to play. And I think that kind of reflects on a lot of things about how you want.
Think you kind of went out.
To hear him.
Yeah, I
I
can
think
hear
he
you now.
came in the game and said, this is what he wants to do or how he wants to do it. Let everybody know he's back. But then after that, I think it's kind of like, okay, well now we know you can play, you look healthy. He was out there running, like we got a kind of future to kind of build kind of thing. So I'm not really sure. Not a heavy read of this game, but I think I like him to continue his success as far as like his passing completions. They got Connor and him back at the same time, but I think the Texans is gonna go in there and just I mean they got a Cardinals got to travel to Texas and you know try and get his rhythm back with a team that actually plays a lot of strong defense and can go at him for toe to toe. be very interesting to see how that piece of it works. But I like the Houston. Actually, I actually think Houston actually covers in this game. I think the Cardinals play a good defense. I just think CJ Stroud to me will be too much schematically. They like to hit, they like to blitz, and in Houston, he'll be under a lot of pressure. And I'm not sure off of a second game back, a quarterback wants to see that kind of defense flying at you all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a play on this game or really a strong read. I don't want to buy the Cardinals on the road really
Mm-hmm.
after a win like that, and I'm agreeing the same, same with what you were saying. What's their incentive? Are they all of a sudden trying to win games now? I'm not too sure about that. And and the Texans, on the Texans side, they're coming off a big win, coming back home. Um, but their pass defense isn't really good. They have a bottom like 7 or 8 pass defense in the league. So how does Houston's pass defense hold up, with playing against a guy like Kyler Murray and he's extending plays and, running around? How does their secondary hold up in situations like that? So, you know, um, neither side, I'm not really buying on either side. But you know, if you put a gun in my head and told me to take a pick, I probably lean actually towards the Arizona +5. But
+5, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
yeah, but no play for me on this one. This is just a weird game to me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think of the Cardinals, and we already talked about what I think about the Texans. I haven't watched them enough, so um, not too sure. Maybe Kyler Murray rushing yards. Um, but yeah, I don't have too strong of a feel on this one.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
All right, you got anything else on that one?
Mm-mm.
All right, cool. Next one we got the Raiders versus the Dolphins. Miami favored 13.5, total 46.5. Look ahead was Miami -10 and a total of 48. So some buy on the Dolphin side. And last week, Raiders are coming off a Monday night win. Was that Monday? No, was that Sunday? Sunday night win, 16-12 versus the New York Jets, and the Dolphins coming off 21-14 loss versus Kansas City. That one was in Germany, and then they went into the bye week after that. So they're coming off a rest. We got a conference game here, in conference game, but Raiders are traveling to the East Coast for this game after a win. So a short week, a little bit of a short week for them, and they traveling East Coast. What are you thinking about this matchup right here?
I had to read first half Raiders. I like the way they've been playing. They got some fight, got some heat up in there. Seem like they come into play. You know, I think it's just one of those things where they've get a new coach, you re-energize, and they do anything. 13.5 is a lot. Shit, it's a lot to bear. But I do like them to compete in the first half. I think eventually they get blown out. The major angle I had on this game was Devontae Adams catches, but he likes going against Jalen Ramsey. I think it's a thing. He likes to go out there and get his thing. So I think his over his catches is 5. Um, so I like that over. And then I like Jacobs to continue ground and pound. I think right now they need to rely on him a little bit more. I know he fumbled a little bit and in the game last game, but I think them 15, 16, 17 carries need to go to 20, 25, 30. If they want to slow this game down and keep two off the field, that's the only game plan to keep them in the game.
Yeah, run the ball. That's a good point. Yeah, this is I mean, I don't know. You got the uh I like what the Raiders are doing. It's exciting. They got a new coach. They feel like a different team, energized. Smoking cigars in the locker room.
Partying.
They got their swagger back. Feel like, so that's always good to see. I don't want to get too hype off that because they play the Jets and the Giants.
Yeah.
So both at home.
Yeah, both at
So
home. No travel.
yeah, no travel at home. Now they go to the East Coast, playing in Florida. It's and then you get a Miami team who's coming off a loss. They're rested. It could be a little bit of I'm not mad at your first half Raiders spot. It could be a little bit of a sluggish, slow start for Miami coming off a bye. But they are coming off that bye and they lost. So I think they are a little bit motivated, and especially seeing Buffalo take a L. I think they'll be looking at this game and not play around with their food. So to me, it's a bounce back spot for Miami. They got some rest. And the Raiders come off of playing, a poor Jets offense. Now they play against a step up in class. Now they're playing against top
complete class.
top offense in the NFL. So, I typically like to fade teams coming off of big home wins like that, and they going on the road, especially traveling far off, and they got to play against a team like this. So, my look on this game is Miami team total over. This Raiders defense still is the Raiders defense. I'm not.
Yeah.
I still don't think they're good.
Yeah, gave us some big plays against the Jets. Just couldn't capitalize.
Just couldn't capitalize, which they haven't really did a whole lot of capitalization this year, at all. So, yeah, I think this is a week that they score. I think Miami scores, but I am concerned about the time off. Do they come back rusty? But
Tyreek Hill too. He gotta go off for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think they just gotta get the whole offense going, get the run game going. But the Raiders do have path to keep this game close if they can run the ball successfully. And just kind of ugly the game up a little bit. So yeah, 13.5 is a lot of points. I'm not interested in taking 13.5. I will probably look in this game if the Miami does start slow, probably to take them in game. So that'd be an angle I'll be looking at to see how they start. They start a little bit slow. They'll eventually pick it up and score some points. But yeah, my angle is Miami team total over 29.5. I think they put up some points this week. Especially after only scoring 14 last week. I think they came out a little sluggish. I don't know if it was sluggish, but there's a lot going on in that Germany game, those travel games, so I'm taking that one with a grain of salt, but
no, I agree.
But yeah, no, that's my look right there. You got anything else on that one?
No, nothing on me for that one.
Cool. Next game, we got Chargers versus the Packers. Chargers favorite 3, total 43.5. Look ahead was Chargers -3, total 42. So no movement on the spread. I think there's some 3.5s that popped up here and there.
Yeah, I seen a couple.
Yeah, and then you got the some buy on the under on this one as well. Chargers coming off a loss 41-38 versus Detroit at home, and the Packers coming off a loss 23-19 on the road at Pittsburgh. Chargers seem to always find themselves in this spot, right? Where it's this desperation game for the team, for the coach, for the franchise, and then you got the Packers. This is your Packers team. You're a fan of this team. I don't know what to make of this team. What do you make of this team at this moment in the season? What's your thoughts?
I think LaFleur is coaching for his job. Jordan Love is playing for approval. The GM is trying to play off ego. They don't have an identity right now. I don't think LaFleur. I think Christian Watson is a number 2 or 3, a realistic receiver. Romeo Dobbs is really a number 2. They don't have a number 1. AJ Dillon has probably been a better back this year, but it's hard because Aaron Jones never sees a carry 20 to 30 carries because he either get injured or they just don't feed him enough. It's just I don't know. I don't think you can fire LaFleur one season post Aaron Rodgers because that doesn't look good. But I think the defense actually has really been keeping them in games in the second half of the season. The second half of each game, they've been playing. They've been playing competitive football, but schematically, the D coordinator doesn't fit the offensive weapons. I think a lot of the defensive teams have. I think a lot of the defense has kind of quit. You've seen a lot of injuries, a lot of hamstring injuries, a lot of ghost injuries from players. Jairi Alexander don't want to be a part of it. Rasul Douglas was very vocal about they need to play better, so they traded him. It is a mess. Um, but on the other side of the football, it's even bigger mess because if Green Bay beats the Chargers, Staley won't be there. I promise this is his last football game if the Packers win.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Um,
yeah, it's on the line for him, man. I think it's just it's almost been like that for a minute. Um, yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you because I have no clue who this Packers team is, man. Like, um, it definitely looks like there was one guy who was holding all this together, by the thread, and Aaron, he's in New York now, so you're seeing the effects of losing a Hall of Fame quarterback. And that them right now they just don't know. They just don't look like they know what they want to do.
I mean, carrying everybody. Aaron carried that franchise, made everybody look good, and they don't look good. Even Nathaniel Hackett in New York doesn't look good. Didn't look good in Denver. I don't think I'm too much attention to that. Green Bay has been carried by their remarkable streaks of quarterbacks. I think they're a mediocre ran franchise, no real ownership. So it's just kind of hard. Murphy is not a great evaluator. Ted Thompson was until he started getting sick and stuff like that. So it's just it's there's no way to go. So this game for me is more so about the Packers. Is either the Packers going to hit that halfway mark and say we're going to compete, or they're going to say, hey, let's look into next year. Let's use this as an evaluation year, see what pieces going to be here. The roster's not strong anymore, so you have to decide like, they're not going to win. So you gotta commit to what direction you're going in the franchise. Matt LaFleur is still trying to prove he's good without Aaron Rodgers, and then Jordan, like I said, Jordan Love's playing for respect. So I think those things are driving the team, but the team needs a brand new makeover defensively. Need a new scheme, and then on the Chargers got to win. They got all the pieces, but no Keenan Allen is gonna make it tough because he may not play. So they're down, and it's a critical over the road spot for both teams. But I like Green Bay. I like the under on the game, and I like Green Bay to cover.
Gotcha. Yeah, I saw something earlier today that um and granted these teams only play each other every 4 years, but the last time the Chargers beat the Packers, Phil Rivers was 2 years old.
Damn,
Yeah, I don't know how old he is now. I
he's
know he
40, like
old.
40 something.
Yeah, yeah, something like
Yeah,
early
40
40s,
something with
mid
like
40s.
99 kids, and like 43, 44 with like 9 kids, right?
Yeah, he don't mess around when it comes to popping the popping the babies out. But yeah, no, yeah, that's a fair assessment, man. I have no no thoughts on this spread, man. I'm not touching this line at all. But one thing I do see typically in the Packers is the run defense tends to struggle. So I'm looking at Eckler, anytime touchdown, Eckler rushing plus receiving yards. I think that's the way I'd be looking to attack this game. I would say the Chargers defense has been poor, but is the Packers offense good enough to take advantage? And then can they protect in the passing game? Because if they can protect in the passing game against those two defensive ends, I think they can keep this game close and win. Um, but
I'm
yeah,
with you.
two
Aaron
teams going
Jones
in a
game
different
too.
direction. You say Aaron
Yeah,
Jones game?
yeah. I think more of Aaron Jones. I think they got it. The running game has been okay for them week to week. All these short, and then the tight end. I like Luke where he's going. He's gonna be a stud. It's a good year
Yeah,
for tight ends in the NFL this year. Both in NFC North was surprisingly. All three tight ends are really, really good. So I'm with you. I think Agent Dillon gets an anytime touch, but I like Aaron Jones to kind of shred this defense because with two defense in, what can you do? You're just running right up the middle if you want to neutralize any pass rush.
Yeah, hopefully LaFleur called a plays for Aaron Jones and not for AJ Dillon, because you want to talk about food left on the table. I mean, dude tripped over his feet a couple of times and just just blew big gains because he just fell down, man. I wish
Yeah,
yeah,
they need a new running. They need a new running back too. They need new everything.
said they need a home makeover over there, huh?
Yeah, they do. And defense coordinator won't be there. There's gonna be new defensive staff all over. Special teams has been average. They paid all this money for Rich. What's his name? Bar. I can't think
Versace.
of Sachi, and they special teams is still subpar average. Like it's just a lot of average. But it's hey, it's a blue collar city. I mean, yeah, a little people in there. They make their money and they go to work. They come home. They go to Green Bay games and got a shareholders, no ownership. So gotta restore before we elevate. Like Rick Ross said, man.
Yeah. No, they gotta fix some things over there, but that that's usually what happens when you lose certain guys like that. I mean, we
Two.
seeing the Patriots right now
Mm-hmm.
look
For
look
sure.
like they in shambles,
They in
since they
trouble.
lost Tom Brady. So
Yeah, they in trouble.
yeah, they got some decisions. They got decisions
And
to
they
make
just and
over
then
there.
nobody respects Bill Belichick. They didn't drop two cornerbacks this year. That's weird too. Not to get off topic, but they just letting go draft picks. People want to play for them. They getting cut. Like it's cutthroat out there in New England right now. So yeah, very interested to see what's going on there too as well. But yeah, that's all I got for this game for sure.
Got you. Cool. Next game we got here, we got the Seahawks versus the Rams. Seattle favorite -1, total 46.5. Look ahead was Seattle favorite 2.5, total of 44.5. Seahawks coming off a 29-26 win versus Washington, and the Rams had a bye. Before their bye, they lost 20-3 at Green Bay. Um, we got a division matchup here. Last time these two teams met, the Rams went up to Seattle and stole game week 1 in Seattle. So Seahawks get a rematch in LA. What you thinking about this division matchup?
And I see a shootout brewing between both teams. I think
Sure.
Stafford got his two weapons. They catch everything. They don't drop no passes. I think Cooper Cup is going to be fully, really healthy. They got their rookie out here shining. They still got their tight end flow, and Stafford's been out there slinging with a time to heal from his thumb injury. I think it's a shootout. I like them. I like the over in this game is what I like. I'm not sure what the Rams could do too much stop them. They've been banged up with injuries. The Seattle defense they played okay, but they still been for me. They've been giving up a lot of yards too as a team as well. A lot of yards. And I think this is a spot where even if they beat the Rams by a touchdown or something, they're gonna have to stop them from scoring. And I don't nothing I've seen in that Seattle defense suggests they can stop anything that the Rams can do. Play calling, schematically, anything. I don't think there's no slowing them down.
Yeah, the Rams coming off a bye, so they got an extra week to prepare for this Seattle team. So that's advantage Sean McVay, in my opinion. He seemed to be really ticked off and frustrated about these last few losses that they had. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a defense he's just had success against, since he's been in the division. So I can't knock you for that one. I can definitely see this game going over the total. The line looks just weird, just looks low for me. It almost looks like this is that the Rams beat them again. It can
Can see it.
that's what it looks like. I mean, when it first came out, I was thinking at least Seattle favorite 2. And this is dropped down, and the Rams didn't even play last week, so you know, I know they didn't cover the spread against Washington, but yeah, I mean, Seahawks pass defense hasn't been great. Um, they're not getting off the field on third down, 30th in 30th in opponent completion, third down percentage. So they're
Mm-hmm.
not getting off the field. Bottom third pass defense, when it comes to giving up yards, completions, and um, completion percentage. So you can throw against them if you can protect the quarterback. If the Rams can protect Stafford, I think he'll have opportunities to push the ball down the field. And they're going to have to generate their offense through the pass game against Seattle. I don't think they'll have much success running the ball. So, I haven't looked. It makes me kind of want to look at Stafford props as well. Yards,
I think so
touchdown
too.
passes, completions. What do you think? What do you think in regards to the matchup, the Rams defense versus Seahawks offense? Like, what are you thinking about the Seahawks offense right now?
They got a little rhythm last week, but like you said, something's missing. It don't seem like it's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
3 tires working, maybe 1 flat. It ain't. It is not look. I don't know if it's the pass protection. Like it's something that's just not off. Metcalf is not healthy.
No, it's not.
Not healthy at all because there's nobody in the league that can stop him 1-on-1. He just looks like like he's battling some injuries and things like that. Gino, he played for his get rich contract. He got it. Then, like you said last week, there's film on him now. So teams are starting to recognize it. The running back, Kenneth Walker, is good, but are you gonna feed him 40 times? I'm not sure. It's just they're good enough to win games, but I don't know how sustainable it is when you start playing real competition in playoffs and teams like that in division games like this where teams can come and beat you. And then if you don't protect, anytime you got to do Aaron Donald, you got a space where you got to deploy 2 out of the 5 men on your offensive line to guard 1 man. And I think that's going to be a struggle for them. So I'm with you. I think that defense can make waves. Schematically, they've just been playing great. They're overachieving the defense. They're playing solid. I would say great defense, but they're playing complementary football compared to what their offense is doing. They're not losing games, but they're competing, I would say. I mean, because they didn't have a quarterback against Green Bay, and Green Bay only scored 20 points. Really shouldn't even scored that much, but
Yeah.
they're just competing. So I would say shout out to Sean McVay for coaching his team and Robert was it Raheem Morrison or was it
Raheem Morris.
yeah Ryan Morrison. He's been coaching defense really well.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's a fair assessment. I'm not sure if I fully believe in this Seahawks offense neither. I mean, they got, granted they went over the total last week. They got weapons, but I don't know if they truly bought into I think they want to be one way as a team, but they really probably should be lean towards the other way. I think they want to be a passing team. They want to have a passing attack, but I think they're probably more effective if they run the ball more than they pass. They're
I
not
agree.
as efficient passing the ball, but when you got 3 receivers and a good tight end and stuff, you got pressure to throw the ball more. So it seems like that's the direction they're going, is to be more of a air it out team, which I think is conflicting. But yeah, this game is weird, man. I probably side lean towards with you with the over on this game. I'm gonna probably stay off the side.
Yeah,
I
for
think it ended
sure.
up being close though, either way.
Yeah, definitely not going. I first don't foresee a blow. I don't think any team is capable of blowing each other out.
Yeah, so this is a game that regardless of which way it flipped, you could probably tease it either way.
I'm
It
with
at
you.
Seattle, you could take +6 and add 6 points and take the Rams at +7, or maybe get a +7.5 if you get a Seattle 1.5. And if it ticks the other way, I would tease the Seahawks up as well. I think this just be a close division matchup. One score, I wouldn't be surprised if it came down to a field goal at the end.
I feel that.
But yeah, it's be a good game to watch for sure.
No, I agree.
Cool. Last game we got here, we got the Vikings versus the Browns. Denver favored 2.5, total 42.5. Look ahead was Denver 2.5, total 43 last week. the Vikings coming off a win at home, 27-19 versus New Orleans, and the Broncos coming off a 24-22 win Monday Night Football at Buffalo. This is a out-of-conference matchup as well. Vikings hot. What are they, 5 in a row? Something like that.
Yeah, they 4 in a row. They hot. Denver hot too.
Hot. And
Both
then
of
you
these teams
got
hot.
you got the Denver, 3-0 since the bye week.
Cooking.
Yeah, they've
Let Russ cook.
something's clicking over there. We're talking about a team that gave up 73 points, 70-some points at one point in the season. So
Yeah,
this
should have been
defense.
a lottery team.
Yeah. And Vance Joseph, the D coordinator, he's always been a good defensive coordinator. So something
took
that
some of the,
they did during the bye week, maybe they simplified things or something like that. I don't know, but
facing
it's been a
a
complete
lot of
180.
unfair criticism this season. Like they trying to act like he's not a veteran. He ain't been a good D coordinator wherever he's been, like you said. So I think new regime, new players, got to take time to buy in. And maybe Sean Payton had to step back. He seemed like to be a little overbearing kind of guy that wants control over everything. So I like you said, I think whatever they worked out in the offseason, it's working because they shut them down.
Man, they've been playing good football for sure. But yeah, this game is a Sunday night matchup. What do you think about this one?
Man, this is a tough one, man. It's like this, unstoppable force, an immovable object right now. Both teams is cooking. Josh Dobbs look good, man. I think he only gonna continue to get better. Hey, Ken, was it O'Connell, right? Is it O'Connell? O'Donnell?
Minnesota coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, O'Connell, I believe.
O'Connell. Boy can coach.
Yeah. No,
I
he's
mean,
doing a good job, man.
yeah,
Great
he can
job.
coach. He can coach offense. Like you don't come in and put a quarterback in off the street that don't know your playbook, and you simplify it enough for him to be a gamer. And then he was a gamer in Arizona, and he kind of took that and brought it over here. He's like, we can win with this guy. And then the defense, and they in there playing really, really good defense. They blitzing, and shout out to Flores for getting another opportunity for everything he went through in Miami and being blackballed and things like that. Defense is showing up for him, man, and they don't have. I wouldn't say they're talent wise. I say they're bottom 20 talent wise for defense, but schematically they're showing up, competing, tackling, getting pressures, blitzing. They out there having fun, out there hitting hard and getting takeaways, and they doing their thing. So I think that part has been good to see. Um, if I had to pick a side, I'm gonna have to roll with Denver because I think Denver is the hotter team, and look like they starting to figure they got the more weaponry. If Justin Jefferson was playing right now, I'd be leaning towards the Vikings, but I think Denver, the way they've been playing and putting pieces together, and just Russell Wilson back there finally starting to cook, look comfortable. They're protecting him. I think that's a big thing too. Um, and they got weapons. They got Judy. They got Sutton. They got weapons. So I like the team that got the experienced quarterback, and I think they're going out on the Sunday bright lights. And Russell likes the bright lights because he loves attention. I think they get him. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat him by a touchdown or a little bit more.
Yeah. No, that's a good look, man. I don't have any look on the side. I'm looking more at the total on this one. I like the under the 43.5. I think both defenses are much improved. Last 5 games, Minnesota gave up 19 to New Orleans. They gave up 28 to Atlanta on the road, but then 10 versus Green Bay, 17 versus San Francisco, 13 versus Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Broncos, since their bye week, last 3 games, 22 versus Buffalo, 9 versus Kansas City, 17 versus Green Bay. So you get a dome team and the Vikings coming into the elements in Denver and the cold, so it's a little bit different for them.
Elevation.
Yeah, elevation. Denver, a poor run defense, but Minnesota doesn't really run the ball well. And Denver's pass defense has been much improved. They're playing a lot more high safeties and keeping things in front of them.
Sertan Island.
Yeah, man. And then primetime under is hitting almost at almost 70%. So yeah, and I'm not sure how Russ's my question looking at this game, does Russ's style of improving in the pocket, running around, buying time, does that hurt him or help them, or help him versus this blitzing scheme?
It all
You
depends on what Flores is going to do. Are you going to? Blitzing Russ has always been dangerous his whole career. I would have to say if I pull up a stat, I'm pretty sure Russell Wilson versus the blitz over his career is high. Pass rating probably over 100.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have that stat in front of me, but you could be right. But that's a question I was asking myself to see, hey,
Yeah,
how does he perform against this defense? But yeah, I mean, I'm looking under in this game. I'm not sure it'd be much scoring, like you said. I think you get a clash of two teams playing well, and prime time. I could see lower scoring grind. I think the Vikings probably have to try to establish a run because the Broncos are the worst run defense in football. I think they give up the most yards per carry in the NFL. So, they got to try to run the ball. And then if you're Denver, I think you have to try to establish some type of run too, because I don't think you can just get stuck in trying to, just trying to air the ball out against a defense like Flores, who is prone to send blitzes and put you in
out of
not the
position.
best
Yeah.
situations. So
No, I agree.
yeah, so I'm looking under the 40 what is it, 42, actually 42 and a half. Now I'm
42 and a half.
looking at the under on this game. Anything else on this one?
No, nothing for me right now.
Cool. Well, that's the last game. That's game 6. Did you have any plays or any other games we can talk about? Player props, picks, anything?
Something about this Buccaneers and Niners game looks good to me. I'm
Mhm.
on, it's got money line written all over it for me. Not sure it's gonna happen, but I'm leaning towards the Bucks being competitive against the Niners, and I think these teams have played each other tough over last year. Obviously, no Tom Brady, but they played each other tough. Buccaneers are a physical team, and I like, and I like the Baker's been playing great, good football. Like, he settled in, got some weapons. I mean, it ain't been horrible. It's been better than a lot of things we've seen this season. So
So
they
I so
compete.
so
Yeah,
I
so
said
I mean, yeah. So I think 12 points is a lot for me.
okay. I can see that. Um, what other one I got that I have on here? Oh, I'm Jacksonville, Tennessee. I'm
Mm,
looking at Jacksonville to bounce back in this game against a division opponent. Um, I'm looking at Calvin Ridley over receiving yards. Tennessee has one of the worst secondaries in football, and Calvin Ridley didn't really do too well last week. Maybe just because of he didn't. I don't think he got targeted that much, but I like him to bounce back against his secondary. So his over receiving yards. Jacksonville Jags team total over.
hmm
They didn't. They got blown out last week. I think they scored 3 points against the
Definitely.
Niners.
Yeah, they did.
So,
I think
I
that game
think,
was a fluke game anyway. It was a giveaway game. It was what five wins in a row on a 5 or 6 game winning streak, wherever they were on.
yeah, I think they won 5 in a row, and the
5 in a row,
Niners had
yeah.
lost 3 in a row. Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, that
I
was to me a
missed out on
giveaway.
that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Good point though. I think Jackson would beat them. But who's starting quarterback? Because all 3 quarterbacks are healthy now in Tennessee.
yeah, I don't care who
Yeah,
starts for them. Honestly,
right.
I think it's L regardless whoever starts.
Regardless, yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah, that would be kind of crazy to take Levis out of the lineup and put Tannehill back in. Like, I
Hard when you're
mean,
paying a quarterback $110 million to set as a backup. So I
yeah,
hear you. I agree with you. It could mess up the kid's development, but it's Tannehill last year in Tennessee anyway. So
yeah. So yeah, if they want to throw Tannehill back out there, then yeah, sure, I guess. Um, so yeah, Calvin Ridley over receiving yards. Pollard anytime touchdown. I
I
think
like
they've
that.
been hyping hyping up that he didn't score last week. Everybody else scored except for him, and then he ain't scored since like week 1 or something like that. So yeah, I think which I don't think that's true. They ain't scored since week 1. I hope that's not true, but yeah,
Right.
I think he scored against this team. Carolina has one of the worst rush defenses in the league as well, so I think he takes advantage. Um, I actually like in that two player props in that Frisco Tampa Bay game. Uh, Debo Samuel over rushing plus receiving yards. And then I like Baker Mayfield to throw a pick in that game. I think he'll
Okay.
be under pressure, and I think he'll definitely throw one up for grabs. And playing from behind, they're gonna be throwing the ball a lot anyway. So um, but yeah, no, those are my looks. Underdog this week. I guess if I'm gonna take an underdog this week, I'm saying Cincy plus 3.5.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I'm with you. I like the Bucks. You like Sims is a good one. That's a good pick. I didn't think about that.
yeah, I'm gonna take
'Cause they could win.
yeah, they can win. They could
For
win
sure can
outright.
win. They outright. It ain't definitely ain't off par.
Yeah, and that Tampa Bay Frisco game, that could be close too. I mean, Frisco
Oh,
wants to run the ball. Tampa Bay got a good run defense, so you know.
Brock Purdy. If you like the Niners to win, you think they win by a lot. You got to think Brock Purdy have another 290 game passing yards.
Yeah, no, not
And
the
Mike
best
Mike
pass
Evans
defense.
Mike Evans catches as well too. I think he go out there and catch. So there's this room for the Bucks. Even if the Bucks start out hot, I think there's rooms for them to move the ball against the 49 defense. They're not as dominant as they have been traditionally. The defense.
Yeah, but what do you think if he's not if they can't run the ball and they getting pressure on Baker? You know how he is when he started,
Long game. Yeah, long day. But will they get pressure on him?
I don't see why they wouldn't. You don't think they can get pressure?
I mean, I don't know how much about to disrupt his entire game, but maybe enough. I mean, I mean, the offensive line. How is? I guess I got to look in the stats of the offensive line, how good it's been in the Bucks, and because before Chase came, the Niners weren't getting a lot of sacks. Both have pretty much been bottled up. So we'll see how the week 2 of Chase Young being there, how much effect it helps Bosa or how Bosa affects Chase Young. So remains to be seen. But I think 12 is good. Even if you want to tease that thing up to 18, you could.
Yeah, I mean, they was terrorizing Trevor Lawrence, so it
Yeah,
almost
for
looked
sure.
like some old Niners stuff. But yeah,
They
no,
was
they
having they was
haven't
having
been great
offensive line
pressure.
issues too in Jacksonville. That's why they traded for the offensive lineman. I think that was kind of hard to get him back adjusted. That's why I'm with you on the Jaguars pick. I think they'll be more settled in this week with they all pro all linemen they traded for.
Yeah, yeah, they looked overwhelmed last week.
Yeah, it looked like it just wasn't real. Niners definitely was a hungrier team. But yeah, no, that's all I got extra for that piece of it. Hard to do the player props because you never know when they're gonna come out or what they're gonna come out as. But
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, that's all I got on there too, man. Yeah, anything you want to lead the people with?
man, just our thing with me and Sproul talked about this week is, man, be thorough with your research. Trust your gut. Be thorough with your research. Put the picks on that you ain't afraid to win, lose, or die with. You just gotta let go and bet freely. But trust it, there's plays you're gonna think that you can hit every play. So I would just say, like I said, do your research, make you a checklist. Me and Sproul back in the day used to have a checklist. Like, did we hit this? Did we look at this? Did we look at that? As we started to get our own betting flow. So just come up with your own rhythm and your own process. Like life is about routines, man. The better routine and things you got, the things you could check for. If you did all your due diligence and your homework, then you win or lose and draw with your routine.
For sure. Yeah, man. No, that's great advice, man, for the people. Yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in, man, as always. Once again, always you can check us out, send us an email, team at MyGuyz Sports. You can find me Twitter and Instagram, Spur Online, and our MyGuyz Sports page. That's Instagram, MyGuyz_sports, and then Twitter at MyGuyz Sports. And then Rich is Twitter, Moneyline Rich WIG, Moneyline Rich Will. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Let's go get some cash. And this was All Bets In Season 2, Episode 10, NFL Week 11. All Bets In with MyGuyz Sports, Spur Online, Rich Will. Appreciate y'all. Let's go get some cash.
Hey, cash some tickets, baby.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace out.
Thanks for tuning in to All Bets In with MyGuyz Sports.
With MyGuyz Sports.
Check us out next time and remember to bet responsibly.